We're now speaking with Maruti Suzuki on their Q1 earnings, and I'm now joined by Mr. Rahul Bharti, Executive Director of Corporate Affairs at Maruti Suzuki. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you so much for joining us today. I just wanted to start off the conversation with talking about margins in this particular quarter. We've seen a very strong bump up in Q1. You did call out some reversals from the previous quarter, among other reasons. If you could just, start us off with that, what led to the big beat in margins in Q1?
Sure. So most analysts look at it sequentially. So from Q1 last year to Q1 this year, quarter on quarter, we had about a 30 basis points expansion in margin. And of course, it's always a resultant of several factors. On the positive side, the RM ratio improved, RM to net sales ratio improved by 90 basis points. And that included a reversal of a one-off that had happened in Q4. So the one-off that we had in Q4 got corrected. And of course, there were other benefits like operating income. It went up by about 70 basis points. We had a 30 basis points gain in some manufacturing efficiencies. On the downside, we had some impact in employee cost, in operating deleverage of about 80 basis points, because of volume fall, and some advertisement spend because of the T20 World Cup and the Swift launch of about 30 basis points. So net, there was a 30 basis points margin expansion. And of course, in the raw material to net sales ratio, commodities and forex did help.
Understood, sir. Now, just wanted a follow-up question on that. We saw an inventory gain of about 895 odd crores in this particular quarter. Now, we saw a similar amount in the September quarter of last year. Is this, of course, this might have helped profits in this particular quarter, but is this something that's business as usual? If you could just call us out on that, sir.
It's a business as usual.
Okay. My next question was just on CNG. Now, we've seen a very big push by Maruti Suzuki in this particular, in CNG specifically over the last few years. Now, last year you did about 4.5 lakh units. You're targeting around 6 lakh units in this particular year. How do you see this particular space evolving? And I wanted to also talk about the SUVs because you are right now offering SUVs in the CNG space as well with the Brezza among other models. My question was, what kind of customer are you targeting or is currently purchasing the SUV, which is in a CNG variant? Because it is, of course, cost effective, but what kind of customers are you addressing in this particular space?
See, there has been a sea change, as you rightly mentioned, in the customer profile, in the way people look at CNG cars now. Earlier, they were, and because of retrofit also, it was limited to only taxis or people who were interested in the cost element of CNG. Now, very premium models, including SUVs, as you rightly said, have CNG variants. The upper variants have CNG option. And a lot of it has also happened because the CGD, the city gas distribution infrastructure in the country has expanded big time. And there are about 7,000 stations all over India, and it will become 10,000 very soon. By the end of the decade, it may exceed 15,000 stations all over India. Many new states like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, they have become a huge they are growing big. UP, they are growing big time on CNG volumes. For Maruti Suzuki, in this quarter, 1 in every 3 cars sold was a CNG, and that was about a 27-28% jump year on year in the quarter. And we will keep expanding this. We'll keep giving more CNG options in more models also. And with improvisation of factory-fitted, factory-designed technology, we are able to get very high efficiencies above 30 kilometers per kg, 34, 35 kilometers per kg in the CNG models. And the best part is that it is very environment friendly. It's low on CO2. It's good for oil import reduction. That's a positive part.
Just if I could quiz you a bit on the kind of customers that are preferring to purchase a CNG SUV. Now, because we've seen, across brands that are available in the market, there are different customers that are being targeted across different price ranges now. Because, with the onset of compact SUVs now, the price ranges is starting to keep getting lower and lower. From you can get an SUV for 7 lakhs, you can get an SUV for 15 lakhs as well. But the customer preference for features, for fuel type is also very different. What kind of customers are you targeting in this? Do you see that a lot of customers who are upgrading to an SUV are preferring to buy a CNG? Do you see people upgrading from something like a Desire CNG who are choosing to have a little more space to go into that space? If any kind of inputs you could give us on that, sir.
Sure. So the one change that we have noticed is that earlier there was a power loss or a torque loss associated with CNG cars, and some kind of concerns on engine life, the wear and tear, particularly of the exhaust valve, etc. Now those apprehensions have gone. So roughly the customer profile that we have seen is salaried class in the range of say 35 years plus, and even business class customers who do intra-city travel, they are preferring CNG models. They do not see any compromise in CNG as in terms of power or engine life, etc. They see it as an environment friendly fuel, which is convenient, which has a long range. And the one very interesting trend is that this quarter, CNG in industry for the first time in India crossed diesel penetration. So both CNG was above 18.4%, crossing diesel as a fuel segment, and that's a positive trend.
Now, just one question on the entry level as well as the hatch segment. Maruti has taken upon itself to reinvigorate this particular segment. You launched the Swift in the month of May. That's got a very good response based on the monthly numbers that you've been reporting. Now, I just wanted to understand the segment. What do you think of this particular segment? Because it has been a little slow to come up. But we've seen the Swift being a very strong customer pull product in the last couple of months. How are you seeing the response of this particular product? What kind of customers are you targeting? Do you see that a lot of first-time buyers have come in? A lot of people upgrading from a lower hatch to something like a Swift, which is more feature-loaded. Second car options as a Swift. If you could just let us know on that, sir.
See, interestingly, the Swift has been a very iconic product. It has a very loyal set of customers who like the DNA of Swift, particularly the sporty, the thrill DNA. In fact, this time when we offered Swift to the opinion makers, they were very hot on. They had a slogan called "Drifting Swifting." So that original DNA has been retained, and it is the sport lovers who like the Swift, and that continues. Unfortunately, as you rightly said, it has put some life into the hatchback segment, and we have got an overwhelming response on the Swift. As far as other small cars are concerned, we had a limited Dream Series editions, and they have also helped big time in arresting the decline in hatches. So that interest has kept up the segment. Of course, in a longer term, hatches are facing some kind of headwinds in terms of affordability, in terms of sudden cost increase, owing to regulatory or other inflationary pressures.
Now, just one question on the UP government's move on hybrid tax cuts. Now, that's one of the major pushes and a very big benefit for someone like a Maruti Suzuki who already has products in the market. Have you seen any kind of increase in inquiries or footfalls specifically in the UP market, since we've seen a policy push there for hybrid cars? And does that, are you having conversations with other states or with the center as well for hybrid tax? Because the tax on hybrids currently around 43% versus just 5% for EVs. The differential is very big. How are you seeing the conversations on that part? And are you looking to invest further in hybrid technology from here on as well?
Sure. So, see, we encourage hybrids. We are strongly, we encourage EVs and we encourage hybrids both, because we think both are excellent technologies to cut carbon dioxide emissions big time by a huge chunk and reduce oil consumption by a huge margin. And both are national objectives. So we are very thankful to the UP government and other state governments who are already, encouraging hybrids, and I'm sure the results will follow. Though it is slightly premature to look at the numbers, but if the Indian consumer is encouraged, the consumer does respond. So that will have a positive impact. And we are certainly showcasing the merits of this technology to all the policymakers. And there is a positive feel about this technology because it helps the national objectives. And we hope, like other technologies, of course, each technology will have its own level to which the government would want to encourage, but we hope these will also be encouraged.